Good afternoon. We're going to give everybody just a minute to get logged in. Thank you for joining us today for our faculty development session with you all. This will be the first faculty development session we're hosting at SHS UCOM where we're not giving CME credit, but that is for a very good reason. I am very excited today that we have Mr. Chris Trong joining us. Chris is our coordinator of evaluations for all intents and purposes for you all. He does many other things here at the COM and is absolutely wonderful. But because you all, or a lot of you all, are having our students out at your clinical sites for the very first time, this is our very first rotation, we thought it might be a good idea to go over or back over what evaluations look like here at SHS UCOM. If you don't know, if you're already precepting one of our students and you have a student, you've probably already received your first batch of evaluations. And so, Chris, are they due tomorrow?
They are due tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. So Chris is going to go over kind of what the evaluations look like at SHS UCOM. It's going to tell you what to do if you have questions, and then we're going to take some questions for you all. So just be prepared to either ask questions in the Q&A section or in the chat. We're happy to tend to any of those. But to just kind of get us started, I want to just go ahead and hand things over to Chris Trong.
Excellent. I'll just share my screen real quick to get the presentation up. Okay, is that showing up for? Perfect. So as Claire mentioned, my name is Mr. Chris Trong, and I am coordinating all of the clerkship evaluations, and I'm the person that you'll be talking to on the other side of COM evaluations. If you ever have any difficulties accessing your evaluations or just have questions in general. So I've just prepared a quick presentation to kind of walk us through a quick how-to and then kind of describe the evaluation process in general, just to give you a little bit of context, just in case you're not as familiar as you'd like to be. So here's a little bit of information about me. Again, you'll be able to contact me if you need any assistance with anything related to clerkship evaluations. And my email that you can best reach me at is that com-evaluations@shsu.edu. It's been a very popular email as of late, so feel free to just shoot as many questions as you need to, and I'll get to them as quickly as possible. So what are the types of evaluations that are you going to be completing? The first one is a midterm evaluation, which is the evaluation that is live right now. And this is a first kind of formative evaluation with the student. It involves meeting with the student and talking through the expectations that they're meeting, or maybe growth opportunities that they could be looking to improve upon over the next couple of weeks with you as they continue to rotate. And this is just a really good opportunity to give the students some direct pointers about how to improve their progress before they get to the next evaluation, which will be that final evaluation, which is a summative evaluation, where you will rate and comment on their professionalism, their aptitude, their various clinical skills, and you'll also make note of growth opportunities here as well. This evaluation is a considerable portion of the student's final grade. So it is even more imperative that we get these from you all, as it will be the big factor in determining their overall performance in the rotation. So when are you responsible for completing these evaluations? For the midterm evaluation, as Claire hinted at, they are due during the Friday of week 2 of every rotation. And so that's exactly the midpoint. You'll have access to them from the entirety of week 2. So this will hopefully give you the flexibility and the time to meet with that student, go over the evaluation, and it'll also give us some time to work out any of the troubleshooting that we need to make sure that you have access to these evaluations. So the student should request to meet with you to discuss their progress. And again, you'll be going over that evaluation together and submitting the form in DaVinci Leo, our evaluation platform. The final evaluation is open in the final half of week 4. So this will be towards the very end of your time with our students. And again, you're evaluating the performance of the student doctor using the rubrics that we've provided. And it doesn't necessarily require a meeting with the student to go over, but you're more than welcome to meet with that student to kind of discuss the capstone of their time with you. And again, this is also going to be submitted as a form in DaVinci Leo. Now, accessing these evaluations is pretty new to us as a COM. Starting this rotation has been our first time distributing these types of evaluation emails to begin with. So we're encountering a couple things that we're ironing out right now, but in general, you will receive an email with an access link to the evaluations that are assigned to you. And reminder emails are going to be sent every single day until all of your evaluations are complete. So if you are receiving emails from DaVinci Leo, even if you think you've submitted, perhaps you just forgot to hit submit or anything like that, because if you're still receiving emails, that means the system has not registered your evaluation as complete. I posted a little screenshot here of what the email looks like. It'll be from Leo admin. And it will give you a quick and easy view evaluation now link, which will take you to all the evaluations that are assigned to you at that time. These emails and all of the reminders are sent to the email address that we have on file for you. So if you're not receiving these emails or you'd like to receive them at a personal email address instead of your work email, please let us know and we can actually update that distribution list to make sure it gets to you in your preferred method of contact. We have also found that because these emails are automated, that they often end up in your spam or junk folder. So if you have a student rotating with you now and you're kind of wondering when you're going to get this email, it's very possible that you have a collection of these emails in your junk or spam folder. So I would really encourage you to take a look there and try to find it. If for some reason that you have received no email at all, we do have a backup plan in place. So do not worry if the technology is failing us. We will make sure that those evaluations can be submitted for those student doctors. And now I quickly want to just transition to a step-by-step evaluation guide, what you're going to be seeing on your end, and kind of just walking through the parts that are required and some of the parts that are optional. So as I mentioned before, you'll get that direct link from an email from DaVinci Leo. And it will send you to a browser page that has only your evaluations that you are assigned to, that are assigned to you. There's no login required. If for some reason you're encountering a login screen, you've accessed DaVinci Leo in the wrong way. And so you'll need to only click on the link that is distributed to you via email. If you have more than one student doctor assigned to you at a time, make sure that you're reading at the top of the form which student doctor's name that you're evaluating. There is a right and left button if you have more than one student to evaluate that will let you tab between the students that are rotating with you. And you should notice your name at the top where it says evaluator. If for some reason it says another doctor's name, then it's been misassigned to you. But our automated system is pretty accurate. So just double check that the evaluator name is correct and that the student doctor that you're evaluating is correct. Then we will get to a section of the evaluation that has you indicate the level of performance of the student doctor. And this is essentially where we will pull their final grade from in the final evaluation, but it will also be a good benchmark for their what they might project as their current grade in the midterm evaluation. So for each of the rubrics, you'll have a little image like this that goes from a scale of 1 to 5, and you'll just rate the student based on the text in that rubric to the best of your judgment. At the end of both the midterm and the final evaluation, there is a text box where we really request that you provide comments around 2 to 4 sentences about the student doctor's performance, citing specific examples if you have any. This will ensure that we can construct the best MSPE letters or Dean's letters for them And it's a good way for the student to actually continue to grow as a future physician, is to have really specific feedback on the things that they did really well, and maybe the things that they have room to grow on. Lastly, and arguably most importantly, you have to click submit at the bottom of the evaluation form in order for the evaluation to complete. If you just exit out, or if you, for some reason, just leave the browser page open, the evaluation form will not automatically submit, and it will look like on our system like you have not submitted it at all. And you'll have to go back in and hit submit again. So just a big reminder, click that beautiful green submit button, and you will be all set in terms of submitting your evaluations. Now, what if something doesn't work? What if I don't get the email to any of my inboxes? What if I have the wrong student assigned to me? What if I thought I submitted the evaluation, but I'm still getting a bunch of reminders? I'm super fast at responding to emails. So if you'll just email us immediately at com-evaluations@shsu.edu with any issues at all that you're encountering, I will make sure to troubleshoot with you and make sure that the process is as smooth as possible. If you will also CC your regional clinical coordinator, if you know who they are, that would be another great way to just make sure our clinical education team knows that we are on it and doing our best to solve that issue. Oh, I don't need to open that. Anyways, and that is it for my quick kind of overview of evaluations. But if there are any additional questions or concerns in the Q&A, I'd be more than happy to answer any.
Okay, so we want to turn it over to you all to see, do you all have any questions about filling out evaluations of any kind? We know that this is new to you all, so we want to provide a space where you could either provide feedback or questions on how to get this work done. And then, Chris, if they wanted to have this evaluation forwarded on to an office manager and admin, is that something they'd be able to do?
Yes, we are able to have this email distributed to your office manager or admin. If you will just let our clinical education team, along with me, know, we can get that switched up in our system, and we'll have those emails forwarded to that office manager or admin.
Okay, we do have a question, which is, are the midterm eval comments going to be copied into the dean's letter, or is it just the final eval?
So for the dean's letter, we'll be using comments from both the midterm eval and the final eval. And knowing that the final eval is probably going to be the best place to get the biggest picture of the student's performance in that rotation. But things like good communication skills or different things that are pointed out in the midterm evaluation could definitely be used in the dean's letter.
Thank you. Okay, so are there any other questions for the audience? I want to give you all a little time to type them out. Dr. Crone would like to know, how do we check what email you have on file?
The best way to do that is to just shoot an email to com-evaluations or your regional clinical coordinator, and we can verify what email we have for you in our system. We've been kind of updating a bunch this week, especially as we've had the midterm evaluations live, so it's super easy for us to go in and change it to whatever you'd like.
Okay, so Chris, I have one more question, which is, can you tell me when the final eval would open for this clerkship rotation, then also when it's due for us?
Yes, so for this rotation 1, we're looking at week 4, which is the week of August 22nd. And so our final evaluation will open that Wednesday, at 8 a.m. On August 24th, and it will be due by midnight on Friday, August 26th. And if for any reason there are any issues with that amount of time to complete that final evaluation, we're more than happy to discuss on a case-by-case basis on extending that window.
Okay, it seems like we do not have any other questions about making sure that we are getting evaluations done. Like Chris said, if you or any of the other faculty and the preceptors you are working with are struggling with evaluations, Mr. Trong is your best person to reach out to. He is fabulous about answering emails very, very quickly. And there's really almost nothing we can't accommodate as far as getting these evaluations to you in the manner in which you prefer to receive it even. So thank you so much for your time precepting our students. We hope that your first rotation has been a really good one for you all. Our students are just having the most wonderful feedback about their experiences with you all so far. So thank you for your dedication to SHSU Com, and we look forward to reading your evaluations and your feedback about our students so that we can continue to improve the education that our students are receiving. So thank you so much for your time today. Again, this is not a CME eligible session. We just wanted to make sure that we provided a good format for you all to ask questions about evaluations, as this is our very first clerkship rotation ever. Okay, thank you so much for your time. And Mr. Trong, thank you so much for the information.
Yes, of course, always happy to be here.
Okay, bye everyone.